So, guys, let's continue with the next part. 1 minute. Okay. So, guys, in the last class, we have discussed a lot about the monitoring, right? So, I have given you multiple different use cases where we have to, or the domain where we have to do monitoring and what the benefits of the monitoring. So, technically, technically, monitoring is a one thing that is very critical. Every second you have to do, and monitoring will help you. If something is not working, this means you are in you are in trouble. And if you want to solve it, it is called trouble shooting. Okay, so then monitoring again is very helpful. And you would like to take a decision, for the future decision, what is happening today, by checking at the data what is happening today. So you want to take a future decision, what kind of infrastructural change you want to do, you can take it today. Or if you want to do some improving your performance, right? Typically known as tuning. Okay, it means to improve a performance if some applications doesn't work. So why it is not working? Why it is not working? Because the RAM, CPU, my code is not able to properly connect to the databases. It's not able to. My cloud doesn't give you the proper resources. Multiple reason might be. So it is working, right? But if I just want to increase the performance, so I have to tune it. Or which part to tune? RAM, CPU, which part to tune, right? So those parts. So tons of examples we can do if you can do monitoring. So this is what, guys, I in the last class I talk a lot about the monitoring and multiple aspects and multiple different use cases. This is again some of the use case that you can perform from the monitoring, but depend uh, what exactly you want. For example, all right, for example, um, your application is become very slow. So I don't know, because of the network bandwidth, because maybe of the caches, because of the RAM and CPU. So what I would like to monitor. I would like to monitor the current CPU utilization, current RAM utilization, right? So for this, right, why? Because I would like to increase my performance. I would like to improve it. Okay, for this, you have to go and monitor the metrics. Okay, so metrics means the load on CPU, current load, maybe current RAM free or used. This is called RAM utilization, or maybe network bandwidth. Tons of examples, tons of things we can monitor. But if you monitor the total number of CPU used or RAM, right? Those are known as metrics. Okay, those are known as metrics. And why I would like to monitor the metrics? Because you want to improve the performance. This is the one of the requirement. And after you come to know, after you come to know this application is using too much CPU, maybe 90%. Because this application, let's say in my laptop, I have the complete operating system. I have the complete operating system, and there's two applications running here. One is a Paint program, one is Chrome browser. Okay, uh, two applications is running, two program is running. That makes my Windows very slow. So how I come to know why my Windows is slow? By monitoring or by looking at the metrics. Afterward, we find, okay, yeah, the CPU become very much utilized. And who utilized the CPU? One of the program application is the one who used a lot. Okay, so if you want to increase the performance, then we do some changes here, right? We do some changes here, and by changes, this change is called tuning. We tuned our system and so that we increase the performance. So there are a lot of way we can tune this. Tuning is not the subject, guys. So if something is not working, the way we change, we improve is called tuning. It's tuning. So we are not learning tuning in this program. It is a different performance and tuning courses available in the market for which kind of tuning you would like to do. All right, but to reach to the tuning, we have to go for monitoring. For example, in the Linux, one of the very basic way to tune is called nice value. One of the advanced way to tuning is called C group. So a lot of core advanced concept available for tuning. So just why I'm picking this topic here, because a lot of guys feel a lot of guys feel because if something is not working, so monitoring is the one who will improve the performance. So this is a somebody has this small small myth. A small myth. Okay, so it is not the case. All right, monitoring just help you to give the information. Okay, why system is slow, or why, what is the number of data transfer, right? How my CPU is being utilized, which program they are the one who are utilized the most. And by looking at these information, right, you can improve the performance or take the decision. And how to improve the performance? By tuning. So tuning is altogether different subject, but without monitoring, um, almost 99.99% it is impossible to do that tuning. So this is the one thing, is a different subject altogether. Even though those guys who would like to learn about the tuning, depend which kind of tuning you want to do. You want to do the tuning of Oracle database, so they have their own Oracle program for this. You want to tune the Red Hat OS, so, or Red Hat server, so they have their own way of tuning the thing. Even though Red Hat has their own course also, and this is one of the most advanced course available in the market, one of the most advanced, and the program is called RH442. So this is the one very advanced course available market. So if you, even though it is not part of program, but if you search RH442 Red Hat, it is about performance tuning. Right? So in the real world or in the technological world, or in the Red Hat server world, this is the one of the most advanced course available, right, to performance or to tuning, right, by using the metrics and limit and all the things. C groups, you can go here, right? So just for your knowledge, I'm just giving this information to you, right? And one more information I would like to give you. According to market and the research, this is the one of the most typical examination or the certification or training module. When this program launched in the India on the Red Hat version 7, on 7, so I was the first one. I was the first one in India who cleared or certified in this program. Okay, so this was one of the smaller achievement I had that time when this program launched in India on the, I think 6-7 year ago on Red Hat version 7, right? But so those guys who are purely Linux admin, in the future, if you would like to do the tuning, you can plan for this, right? To that's all as very small knowledge for you. So yeah, come to main point. Main point, we are into the monitoring world. So depend what is your use case. But if you would like to do the monitoring using the metrics, okay, so in the last class I explained this concept. Multiple way we can do the monitoring. Okay, one, we can monitor metrics, or we can monitor logs. Some more thing we have, right? But these are main two topics we have, right? So if you would like to monitor the metrics like CPU, RAM, all the things, for this we have a tool called Prometheus that we already started. And for the log, maybe in some days we're going to start is called ELK or Elastic Stack. We're going to use this, right? But both the tool are for the monitoring. So let's continue, guys, with the today's this tool called continues with the Prometheus. Okay, and maybe if we got the time today, we also going to start one more tool today called Grafana. It is just for create the visuals, graph, and all the things. So let's see how much time we will have finally. So Prometheus we have started in the last class. So just for again your knowledge, right? If you just want to monitor, if this is the case, not tuning, right? Tuning will do after the monitoring. If you just wanted to monitor and you don't want to monitor log, you just want to monitor metrics, then the meaning of Prometheus come in play. They will do for us. But if you plan to monitor log, Prometheus is not the right tool to do it. Okay, this is the one thing you should know. That's part I already explained you. And what is metrics? You guys know, and we'll see multiple examples also today about the metrics. Okay, this is the one thing, right? One more thing, guys, is very fast. I just want to link the you know architecture again. So for example, and this is my plan for today. So I am having one operating system here running with Red Hat, and I'm having one more operating system here again, let's say running with Red Hat. Okay, and one more here, doesn't matter, but this OS is running with Prometheus. Okay, so the Prometheus server is running in this system. Okay, so what is my plan today? My plan today is to show you something like this. Okay, so you can explore more option by looking at this idea. Okay, so my plan today is, right, for example, this OS, let's say this is a system A. So what I want, right, I want to monitor the entire operating system. And if you want to monitor the entire operating system, right, it is known as entire node. So if you want to monitor the entire node, so for this, in my last class I told you, if you want to monitor this system, you have to run one program. And the program name here is called exporter. So it is not known as agent here, it is known as exporter. So for this, you have to use a program called node exporter. Why node exporter program? Because I would like to monitor the complete operating system. And when I say complete operating system, means your operating system metrics, right? Means RAM, CPU, all the things. But if, like, let's say one example, if web server is running inside this OS, okay, if web server is running inside this OS, and because this is web server, so what happened when the client hit, they see the page. So if you would like to monitor the web server, or you want to monitor the metrics of the web server, this program doesn't give you. Okay, so maybe your web server is running inside the Red Hat, but if you ask your node exporter program that can you please give me the total number of byte transfer from the web server, or can you give me the total number of error page 404 on the web server when the client hit? So your node exporter is one program. They say, no, I can't. I can only monitor my operating system related statistics. That's all. And that is RAM, CPU, number of byte transfer, total number of bandwidth. But I can't tell you specifically about the web server. Okay. So if this is the case, if you want this, for example, let's take one more example. My Red Hat is working on, this is my operating system. And on the top of Red Hat, my Docker program is running. And you know guys, when you run the Docker, on the top of Docker, you launch multiple container. You have a lot of images, content stop, content starts, those things you have. Okay. if your requirement is to only monitor Dockers, okay, means how many images you have, how many content is running, how the total number of RAM used by the particular container, something like this. If you have this requirement, okay, then you have to monitor the metrics of the Docker, right? You don't have to monitor the metric of the OS. Okay, guys, give me 1 minute, please, guys. Just give me one minute, please. So, so again, the intention, guys, this is a lot of guys, are not using in properly, right? So you know what they do, because I am would like to only monitor Docker and Docker internal thing, and you guys know Docker is one kind of service, one kind of program. Okay, so if you install one exporter here or one kind of uh, agent here, that's called node exporter. Okay, so node exporter doesn't help you here, because node exporter only export your OS respective thing. They doesn't know anything about the Docker. They doesn't know anything about what is happening inside the Docker. We know Red Docker is a part of Red Hat. They're running on the top of Red Hat, but technically for the Docker, they say I am the isolate service. Web server say I am the isolate service. MySQL say I am the isolate service. What is happening behind me, that I know, right? I won't tell to my operating system. I won't tell to my node. So technically, what you would like to monitor, you would like to monitor the complete node, right? You would like to monitor the complete metrics of the node. Then you have to install the agent called node exporter. But you don't want to monitor the complete node, but you just only wanted to monitor one particular service and the internal about the service. Maybe Flash, maybe Django, or whatever you know, guys, Tomcat, right? Then, so you can say, I would like to monitor the metrics of my Docker services. That's what you have to do. Okay, let me take very fastly one more example here, so I can link it all guys together. So I have one more operating system, let's say again, maybe Red Hat 8, or maybe Windows, doesn't matter. And on the top of this OS, my one database is going on, like MySQL. Okay, and again, MySQL is again one kind of program, one kind of service. And if your intention is if your intention is to only monitor the metrics, not the log, metrics. Okay, log, what is log, we'll discuss in the upcoming class, right? The metrics of the MySQL service, then you have to install the exporter. Why I say exporter? Because they are the one who export the metrics, right? So they have to install MySQL service exporter, or you can say exporter like agent program. Okay, that's what. So I take this 3 example. There's a reason, right? One example is because what I want system A is monitored completely, like node wise. System B is monitored only for the Docker services. System C is only monitored for the MySQL services. Okay, that's what we want. And who will monitor? All those 3 guys will be monitored by Prometheus server. But I told you guys in the last class, right? That the agent on your node, And guys, you know this term is called target. So system C is target, A is target, B is target. But this is not the right way to say. The right way to say is, right, on system C, my target is not the complete node. MySQL is my target. B, Docker is my target. In A, the complete OS is my target. This is the right way to say. And I told you in my last class, right, Prometheus is not the one who is keep on waiting here. Prometheus go to the node every 15 seconds by default, and the contact to this exporter program and ask them to fetch all the metrics, because you are the node exporter. So fetch all the node metrics and give to me. Okay, so Prometheus is doing pull. They're pulling the metrics after every second. Okay, and this complete process is called job. So Prometheus has to run the job. So why I'm explaining this part again, you guys know already. There's a reason, right? Because, right, if you want, and guys, please understand this point is very critical. If you want Prometheus go and pull the metrics, then this particular node A should have this exporter program running. And point is, who will give the exporter program? Right? Normally, the company who is managing Prometheus. So if you go for Prometheus company, Prometheus download or exporter, what you will get, this is the list of exporter or the program they give you. And if you see the list, right, if you see the list, in this you have a MySQL exporter. Okay, it means we download this software, this one, and we install this software in system number C. Okay, so what you will have exporter who will fetch the metrics of the MySQL. So what happened in the future, right? When Prometheus go, they contact to this exporter and say, I'm coming to you to pull the metrics. Your duty is to go to MySQL, retrieve all the information called metrics and give to me. So for this, Prometheus has to run one job for MySQL service. Okay. Similarly for the node also. But if you see here, guys, if you see here, maybe most probably if I search Control F and Docker, okay, there is no Docker exporter available here. They have exporter for hub. There's the website. This is called Docker Cloud. They have a different tool for this. Okay, but right now, what Docker we know, that the Docker we know is the Docker program, typically known as Docker engine. There is no Docker exporter available for the Docker program or for the Docker engine. Again, I'm repeating, guys, this is very important part to discuss and understand, right? If I go to this system, right now we are running a container on the top of Docker. So what is Docker? Docker is one kind of service, and that service is known as Docker engine. But it's like a service. Okay, so does Docker engine is doing something for you? Yes, they're launching the container. If they're doing something for you, it means there will be some information, right? And that information is called metrics. Okay, who will give this metrics to Prometheus? Obviously, Prometheus come to you and say, I want this metric. But to whom Prometheus will contact? Because there's none of the agent or the program or the exporter available for the Docker. Right? There's none of the exporter available for the Docker. So right now, if you open this terminal, right, this particular terminal, and right now in this system, my one Docker service running. I believe everybody now comfortable with the Docker, right? So one Docker service is running, right? So this is a different, and this is the engine, right? One Docker engine. So when Prometheus come to this Docker engine, they can't contact to this guy, right? They would like to contact to their program, their exporter program, the agent program. Typically, according to the website, maybe third party might have created Docker exporter. Maybe I don't know, but but there's no export available. So guys, you know what finally I'm talking about, right? My plan today is to show you how to integrate Prometheus with the Docker. This is the one of the practical I would like to show you, and why this practical is very unique. Okay, is unique because if you would like to integrate Prometheus with the MySQL, with the node, it's so simple because the export is available. You to just download and run it the way we did in the last class. Okay, that's all. That's all you have to do. But if the exporter is not available, your program is not available who is fetching the metrics for the Docker, how they will pull? That what is the unique thing I would like to show you today. So finally, guys, the plan is, all right, I would like to first fastly repeat the practical what we did on my last class, right? How to integrate, right, this system to A. Let's say this is the P system to A. That's what we already did in the last class, but it's one simple command you to run. So that's let me show you very faster. Okay, but this is not the main topic today. Main topic is how to integrate P with the B. B means Docker. That's what I would like to show you. And the biggest challenge is we don't have exporter available. Okay, so I will show you this practical, but before this, let me show you how to integrate P with A, means the node. So this is my node. Okay, having the IP of my node is not 101. So according to my laptop, my IP 101 is my node. Okay, and this system would be my Prometheus server. Okay, and I highly suggest, guys, I took one class on Sunday where I explain you how to install Red Hat on CLI, and I will also explain you how to install Yum in the CLI. So I suggest, guys, those guys who are facing the issue of VM, you can't run two VM in a parallel. So I suggest install one Red Hat in CLI and do the same practical over here. Okay, so those guys who missed the class, we have shared the video also to you. All right, see the video, configure 2 or 3 or 4 Red Hat VM. So on one VM we will launch Prometheus, second we will launch Docker, third we launch Node, fourth we launch web server, and we can see the one great practical you can plan it in your laptop. So because one VM just require 100 or 150 MB RAM, that's all, and will run completely. So I suggest right now I'm using GUI, but I show you how to install the CLI. And after install the CLI, obviously you don't have the GUI, but you can do all the practical exactly the same the way I'm doing here. There's no difference, right? So this is my different operating system. And this operating system I am planning to have a Prometheus server. So my IP right now of this guy 100. So how to launch Prometheus server is so simple. There's no big deal. Just go to desktop wherever you have downloaded. Just extract this file. After extract, go inside this folder, and inside this folder you have to run this program. That's all. Nothing unique. You have to run this file, this program. Okay, so this is the way how to launch Prometheus server. All right, but I also suggest, not compulsory, but I also suggest, because our plan is to to expose the metrics of A to the Prometheus. So do one thing. First, go to IP 101, okay, and install the node exporter program and run it. So how to do, again I show you in the last class. So this is my node having IP 101 and the desktop. I have downloaded this program, node exporter, extract this. After extract, go inside this particular folder. You have this program, run it. How to run it? Simple /node export. That's all, nothing special. So there's only one single command. But if you notice here, guys, this program we have downloaded is not created by us. Okay, and who has given this program? Somebody, especially typically the Prometheus own company given this program. And what this program will do? Only they monitor this entire node. Okay, about the RAM and CPU and all the metrics of this node. So that's what I'm running here. Program started. There is no SS error, and this program is running on port number 9100. So technically, in this node A, my exporter started on the program 9100. Or because this exporter program, so anybody who come to this program, now it is your choice. Either Prometheus has come, yeah, you can, or you can use your own program. Anybody who come to this program, they can get the metrics. About what? About the node. That's what we have discussed in the last class. So in our case, who will come? Prometheus server will come. So I'll go to Prometheus server. Okay, and this is my Prometheus server. I'm here. Okay, I'll tell my Prometheus server that you have to go to IP 101 to this port, where you can go and pull the metrics. Pull means download it. Go and download this. Okay, for this you have to configure your Prometheus server, and for configuration, this is the file we have to use. So I'm opening this file. You can use gedit. Okay, and inside this file, in the last line, you will write. That's what we have write in the last class. Okay, you tell my target is this IP on this port. So this is my target. And just give your job name, because I told you, whenever you go to IP 101 and connect to the server, after connecting to download, this complete process is known as job in the Prometheus. So that's what we give the job name. So whatever job name you would like to give, you can give here. Okay, so that's what we have done. And every 50 seconds they go, and after they go, they download all the code. So not the code, they download all the data, but this data is something like HTML kind of data. But Prometheus has to store this data into their database. So I told you guys, the main power of the Prometheus is what? The main power of Prometheus is their database. So whatever the information they pull, or what are the metrics they pull, okay, they store this metric in their database. Okay, in their database. But the information they're pulling is in a little bit different format. So Prometheus convert this format into a format that Prometheus understand. Okay, and this conversion is called scrapping. It is something like a web scrapping. Guys, I had some 10-15 seconds of interruption of the internet. Now I think I'm pretty audible, right? So, so what they store in the database the time when they scrap the data, means they download the data. Whatever information they store here. Whatever information they get, they store here. Plus, from where they are getting, because I might have multiple targets: target A, target B, target C. Okay, so they, whatever data, for example, They say from system number A, I download this information. They create one more record at that particular time. In system number B of the node, maybe of Docker, I download this metrics. Okay, so in the future, if you are only searching for show me all the information of A, I can search show me information of A, and this is called label or tag. Okay, so whatever data they store in their database, okay, this information they tag it. So in the future, we can also very easily search or filter about system A, system B, target A or target B, something like this. Okay, and because they are also storing time, because they know when the download, so they are also storing time. So this kind of database is known as time series database. So this is a quick summary, guys, we discussed. But technically, according to Prometheus server, the thing that they only know is to run the job. They never know in the front system is the entire node. They never know the target system is a MySQL. They never know it is a Docker. Prometheus duty is to download the metrics or the data. But who will help the Prometheus? Always the exporter program. So right now in my case, my exporter program is running on IP address 101. So this time, if I run this program /Prometheus, it's so simple, one single line, my program will start. So this program will start. This command I shared you in the last class. They say my service is ready, and I start storing data in my THDB database. Okay, and because this is ready, and I show you in my last class, the Prometheus work on the port number 9090. So this server is working on the port number 9090. So anybody who has your connectivity with this server, let's say my Windows has a connectivity. So I'll go to my Windows, type this particular IP address, and go for 9090. It is connected. So this is the portal of the Prometheus server. And if you go to status, I have one target. This called node 1. Node 1. Why Docker is coming up. This IP what? 101, right? Not 101 actually. This is the 100, I think. 100. So let me connect to 100. Yeah. So if I go to status and targets, you can see node 1 is up, IP running on 101, and they are fetching the metrics from this URL, and this URL is called endpoint. So if you see the URL or the endpoint as one of the same thing. Okay. So till here, guys, we did already in the last class. Okay. Now my intention, guys, here, fetching the information from any of the targets so simple. Only the thing that you require is exporter. So all the exporter that is available, you can solve, and the same way you can create the job in the prometheus.yml file. This is called configuration file. But challenge come up when the exporter is not available. Okay, and again I'm explaining, guys, one more time, so you can link this Docker practical very easily. Okay, if you talk about this particular node A, IP 101, IP 101. Okay, so you can think in this way: IP 101 is my Red Hat 8, and there's no program available on the Red Hat 8 by default that share all the information of Red Hat. And information means the metrics of the Red Hat. There's no program available. That is a reason Prometheus, guys, has created a program for these guys. And program name is called Node Exporter. It's the one program they create. And when they run this program, export actually, when they run this program, they share the information. How? Using some URL. Which URL? This URL. So you guys know in the last class, so I'll show you. So even though without Prometheus also, with using this URL of your node, you can get the information. So this is the information they're getting. So for the I don't require Prometheus, anybody can get it. Okay, but so what I'm talking about, so in this node, program is not available, so they create the program for you, and this program is fetching the information and sharing in some URL. This URL also known as endpoint. But if you talk about the Docker, so in my system one Docker service running, okay, and if you want to fetch the information or share this information or export this information on some URL, so outside guys can see what Docker is doing. You want to share this, what information means metrics. Okay, for this you have to run some program, because everything is done by program. You have to run some program, but this program in the Prometheus world is known as exporter. But this exporter program is not available in the Prometheus for the Docker services. So what to do? So one of the things that we do, we can create our own program by writing the code. There's one thing you can do that is again pretty simple. If you guys know any programming language like Python something, so you can create your own Python code and create a Python CGI programming to do it, or maybe API programming like Django, Flask, and you can do it if you know it. So you can do it. Whatever you want to expose in some URL, you can do it. Either do in this way. This is the first choice. Second choice is either they provide exporter program already, you can download and use it. A third choice that you have is right, but this is why it's always nice, right? Create your own code, because whatever you would like to expose as information, so the outside can use it, and here outside is my Prometheus server, they use it. So creating your own program is always good, but CGI programming you should know, or API programming you should know. So let's say this is the pure admin class, you are not a developer, even though you are, but it might be not. Right? So second choice is always good for us, but again it is not available. So what is the third choice? Okay, so we can go to Docker services. Docker is created by somebody, and ask, do you have some internal facility already with you? Do you have some internal URL where you are giving a metrics, where you're giving the information about you? So I know you're for container, but maybe chances is there you are the Docker or your web server, you are somehow you are exposing your metrics in some URL, so outside guys can see it or they can use it. So do you have this internal facility? If they have, that will be a great choice. Because Docker guy who create the Docker, if they are the one who providing the information, so that's the best one, right? Because they will always provide the accurate or the right one. So for this, you don't have to write the code, and for this, outside guys doesn't have to write the code. So we have to check this. And how to check? Obviously, we don't know. Obviously, Docker guys will tell about this part, right? So what you have to do, you have to just search in the Google, maybe Docker document. Docker, do you have any information where you are exporting your metrics, something like this? Just go and search. So do you have any information like this? So it might be look like this one might be the good one. Running metrics of the Docker. Let's see, check this one. This URL. So this is one of the documents from the Dockers. And guys, this topic is not about Docker, right? I'm just giving you example as a Docker, but this would be any tool, whatever you're learning in your organization, maybe web server, maybe Tomcat server, whatever you guys are learning, right? Whatever you have. So if you go here, maybe they might give you something. They say, I have a lot of memory metrics. These are the information I have, memory used. But do you have some program who give to me? Just keep on searching, keep on checking, keep on reading. Somehow, some way you might get. Okay, so after reading, I get one concept on the Docker. It's called Docker experimental metrics. So how I know? I don't know. Obviously, I have to read the document of the Docker. From there, I come to know they have concept of experimental metrics. Okay, metrics. And if I read this, or maybe this is the document I have. If I read this, right, what this is saying, Docker doesn't give you any information to the outside world, right? That doesn't give you. But if you would like to expose, if you want Docker service, right, without installing any third-party tool exporter or any other your own code, if Docker, you want Docker service, share the information or metrics on some URL, so outside program can use it. So we have the way. For this, you have to go to Docker internal configuration file. This is the location. So for example, let's say this is my OS where Docker is running. Okay, this is the OS where Docker is running. And by the way, guys, I would like to show you before one more small thing. Before I integrate. Right now, if you go for Graph, this is my Prometheus server. And if I search something about container, guys, there's no word container come up here. Right? Nothing is coming up. Why is not coming up? Because my target is not Docker. My target is only the node. Node only give you the information about the node. Okay, even though this particular node, IP 101, this one, they are running with the Docker. Okay, but that doesn't give you any information about my about the Docker. Okay, so again, same node IP 101 are running with the Docker, but they're not giving anything because this is the node exporter. They're not the service exporter. They're not the programming like Java, Python exporter. So my plan is to add one more exporter that will expose my Docker service. And for this, I am taking the help of my Docker program. And they're going to say, I don't expose, but this is my programming. So this is my internal file, etc Docker something. So I'll go to this system. So they're talking, just go to this particular folder. Guys, one more minute. Let me create a document for you. So till now, guys, whatever I showed you, it was a quick revision. And the command that I show you is only 2 commands that I already shared you in my last class. But this is the new thing we are doing. And guys, again, don't focus more about the Docker, even though you guys know Docker. But my intention is I'm giving the approach. Because in the real world, you might see a lot of things come up, right? And their exporter or the program is not available on the target system. So I'm just showing you the approach, right? What you have to do. I don't want you stuck and say there's no exporters, what to do. So that is not the right right thing to say. Okay, so this is the folder of the Docker, and inside this particular folder they have this file. So typically, guys, this file actually does not exist. I have created for testing. So let me remove this. Technically, if you see in your system, this file is not exist, right? So let me show you again. So you have to first go to this folder, right? You won't see any file like daemon.json. So you have to create this file daemon.json. How I know which file to create? Obviously, I don't know. Docker will give the information to us. This is the file daemon.json to create. And inside this file, okay, if you ask your Docker to expose the metrics, so they given these 2 keywords here, metric address. So you have to write metrics address. Okay, metric address. And here you have to give your IP address where the Docker is running. So right now my Docker is running my own system, and what's the IP of my own system is 101. So to tell, if anybody would like to come and see my metrics, just come on this IP. This is my own IP because I'm the one who running the Docker. Come on this IP address and some port. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Just can give any port number. Okay, so you're telling to the Docker that you have to expose your metrics to this URL. This is the endpoint yet expose. And guys, this IP, this is the your own IP. This is called binding actually. So if you know guys socket programming, so this is called binding. Okay, this is one thing. And this feature is the part of Docker experimental feature. So you write this keyword true. So experimental mental equals to true. True. And here true is a boolean, so you don't have to put in double quotes. This is like a string, you put in double quotes. And there's two different keywords, you have to use comma here. And this is the key, again you have to put in the double quotes. And this is not the YAML file, right? YAML, just like YAML, we have one more kind of way where we can share the information. It's called JSON. So in the JSON, we have to use curly braces. So everything is same like a YAML. Only thing you have to use curly braces. Why? Because this is a JSON. And one more small thing, in the JSON, every line is a record key value pair, and after key value pair, you have to use comma here. That's all. So that's all, guys, we have done. Okay, we have done. Don't put this IP. This IP is loop back. So you want, if you do this, you don't have a connectivity outside the world. But what I want, Docker is here. I want outside guys can use it. So for this, you have to use your main IP. The outside guys can come to your main IP. That's what we have done here. Okay, so this is the file we have updated. Okay, and now because you change something in the configuration file, you have to always start the service, and this is the file for the Docker. So we have started the Docker services. There's none of the error come up. Service start. And you know what happened behind the scene? Behind the scene, all right, this URL start or this endpoint start. Now anyone who come to this endpoint, they can see the Docker metrics. For example, let me go to my Windows. If I type IP address 99.101.1234, okay, the same IP, right? 101. Yeah, IP. I think after this, they are exposing with some URL / metrics, I believe. Yeah. So how I know, we can see the document they can show you. So this is the metrics available. Like it is exactly the same the way we export with Node exporter. But Docker guys has given this, right? The Docker say, I already have my internal service, right? Who expose the metrics. So why we need a extra program? Why we need extra exporter? So maybe this might be the reason why Prometheus guys doesn't create exporter for the Docker services or Docker engine, because they have internal options. You can use it. Maybe like Apache server also have. Maybe we don't know. Just go to check the Apache server. Maybe Tomcode might also have. So almost all the services that have the internal feature or known as options, where they can expose their own metrics on some endpoint or the URL. So outside guy can use it. So example, here my outside is my Windows. But only change, if you use from the Windows, the challenge is, again, if you refresh, the old data goes. So you want to store this data in database. And you don't want to keep on refreshing manual again and again. So there's a role of Prometheus come in play again. Same thing I will explain the last. So instead, we manually run. We'll ask my Prometheus. They keep on going every 15 minutes, the same URL. Okay, they keep on running. They get the data and storing in their database. And they're storing in this format, not in this format. So they get one key with their value. This one key is called metrics with their one value and store in this database. And with the time means whenever they go, or because every time they're going, so it is real time there. So the Prometheus is a real-time database or real-time monitoring tool they're doing for you. And plus they also tag. They tag, this is my target B. Target B means this is my Docker target. Okay, so they store everything in the database. So let me show you. Right, this is the from Windows I'm doing, but if you want to do from the Prometheus, so I'll go to my Prometheus server. This is my Prometheus server. Okay, your program is going on. So so if you want to change something in the file, so open the new terminal, again go to the same file, prometheus.yml, and what you have to do, you have to you have to uh, open the file and configure it. And what I have to configure, let me copy these lines and paste. I'm telling now I have one more target. My target is again by chance 101, but the port number is 1234. So I understand one thing, you know what? I'm again going to same IP. Why? Because this same system where I'm doing the node monitoring, in this same system where I'm going to monitor Docker. So maybe there might be chances, right? That one system in one single node or in one system, single VM, you would like to monitor the node also. You would like to monitor the Docker also. Maybe in the same system, MySQL also running. You also monitor the MySQL also. So system is one, VM is one, but three job you're running for monitoring three things. So depend upon the scenario. In my scenario, this is the setup, but your scenario should be something like this. So you have one independent system running only node. In one system running node, but you want to monitor Docker. Your third operating system running one node, but you want to monitor MySQL. But right now, my current scenario is something like this. In my current scenario, right, my setup is something like this. So we have one system. So we have one system running with Red Hat 8 plus running with Docker engine. Okay, so I installed two exporters. One exporter called node exporter that monitor this guy, and one exporter that is not available but is a part of Docker engine. We enable this like exporter. So two part we are monitoring. Okay, but it is a one single VM 101. So maybe possibility, right? So both the scenarios you can, whatever scenario you have, what part you would like to monitor, what is your target. So here I have two targets. This is one of the target, this is one of the target. Okay, and here in the different operating system, my prom server is running, and this program server will run two jobs, one for this guy, and again go to same IP, or for this guy, for node, same IP. So that's what we are doing here. But how they differentiate? As for differentiate, they use the port number. So 9111 is a port number for the node exporter. 1234 is a port number for the Docker internal metric expose. But because they two jobs, so just give the job name. So let's say this is a node 1 Docker services. So whatever name you would like to give it. Okay. So one more job we are going to run. And because you change something in the conf file, okay, so you have to restart service. And for the restart, you have to just, because this program is not run by systemctl. So because there's no systemctl here by default. If systemctl is there, so I can manually run Prometheus and run it. But my Prometheus is not run by systemctl. It is run by program. So if you change anything in the file, you have to first do Control-C to stop and again start. Because till the time you again restart, if you do Control-C and then again start, it's called restart. But if you don't do the restart, right, and you go to Prometheus server, it won't update it. So again, I go to my status, so target, and my Docker doesn't come up. So for this, you have to restart the service. And how to restart? First do Control-C. Control-C will terminate the program. But guys, you know what? If you terminate the program, that particular time, your Prometheus goes down. And that particular time, if somebody is doing some monitoring and taking the decision, so there will be one downtime come up. Okay, so what we have to do? So technically, if you do change in some configuration file in any of the server, if you change something in the configuration file, okay, because file, the config file that you change, it's changed in your hard disk, right? And but your process is running this file, reading this file. So my process that I started for the Prometheus has read the old file. So that is the reason they are showing you the old information. because you change something in the file, okay, you have to restart the process. Typically in the Linux, we restart the process with systemctl. So why, guys, I'm explaining this way? I know most of the guys might know this, but why I'm explaining this way? Because right now I don't have systemctl command available for the Prometheus. So I'm going to show you how to restart the process without termination, without terminating. So I don't want to terminate this program. Without terminate, I would like to restart. Means I would like to reload this file. One step simple, do Control C, then again run that. When you again run, again they go and load the file. So this is one step, but it is not good step. You will have downtime. Okay, so without terminate, if you want to restart your program. So I'm not running this, I'm not stopping this program. So let me go to the different terminal. So for this, what you have to do, whenever you guys run any program, either with systemctl or run manually, so my program is keep on running. So it program will create a process. And if you search all the process in the system, this is a command. This program will show you all the process of your operating system. Like, all control del kind of command. It shows all the process. And in this process, if you search for Prometheus, they show you one Prometheus program is going on. Okay, why is going on? Because this program is running here. Okay, but every program is associated with one ID called process ID. So this is the process ID of the program. So what is our intention? Without stopping this program, I have to reload it. Okay, so for this, there's one very beautiful program available. This is called kill. I'm asking the kill to kill this program. This kill is one command in Linux. It is like an AND process. But if you kill it, kill is exactly like Control C. So when you do Control C, it is like kill. So I don't want to do kill. What I would like to do, I would like to restart. So in the kill, there's one beautiful option called HUP. Okay, HUP. So what it will do, so you see, guys, without killing this process, if you HUP, so they reload. See here, the reloading the Prometheus, completely loading. My program doesn't stop. It's keep on running. Or because keep on running, so behind the scene, if any client who is using Prometheus, there's no downtime come up there. Okay, and even though if you run the process again, you can see again your ID also same. But if you do Control C and again start, sometime your ID also change, right? But not change. So it's a one beautiful program we can use. Okay, why I have to use this program? Because systemctl command isn't available for this guy. By default, even though we can also create systemctl for this guy, but it is not available. So in this scenario, if you want to reload any program, typically known as process, so we have to use this program. So this is a small tip from my side. Otherwise, if you don't understand this, doesn't matter. For now onward, you can do Control C and again start. That's what we can do here if you want. Okay, but if you refresh without having the downtime, if you refresh, you can see one more target come up, and this target is about the Docker. They come up and they are up. By chance the IP is same, but it doesn't matter IP is same or not. The endpoint and the port number is different. So they are monitoring, the first one monitoring the complete node, and second one is monitoring the Docker. And they are showing you labels. What are they showing you? Okay, they are showing you whatever the data. I'm a Prometheus. Okay, whatever data I'll pick from this guy, let's say the CPU utilize, I will tag this guy with this particular tag, job equals to node 1 or instance equal to port number 911. What did I pick from this target? Maybe same IP, different IP, because this is Docker service, different service. I'll tag this guy, let's say number of containers. Tag this guy with a different tag. So why is it important? So in the future, if you want to see only the information about Docker, just type this tag, it will show you. Okay, so guys, this is one great example. So what I showed you, how to integrate Prometheus with the Docker. But intention is not about Docker. Intention about the approach that I used. That is important, right? So if you don't see any exporter available in the Prometheus site, if it is available, it's so simple, download it and run the program. That's all. The way I do in the node. So nothing is, there's no such complexity there. But if it's not available, then you have to do some manipulation or trick. So 3 approach we have available. Either you use the Intel function if it is available, not all the program they have, but if you available, use it. Or the final gateway of resort is this one. You have to create your own code in Java, Python, right? That will retrieve the metrics, whatever you want to expose, and use some API programming. So that's a different point altogether, right? So that's what, guys. Now if I go for a graph, and now if I search for container, you can see a lot of container options come up. Last time there was nothing, right? Container options come up. Okay, for example, let's say container action second count. Okay, if I click this, so you know what, this is the one key, one information they are sending, and this information is called metrics. And if I run this, they show me the value 1. So they are showing me the value 111. So in this, what they show me, start, delete, create, commit. So in the Docker, you know, when sometimes you do start, delete, create, or let me show me one more metrics that might make sense. Container, or maybe image, no image, container, count with some, let's say, yeah. So one minute, let me show you some metrics that might be useful for you. Yeah, this is the grade metric, right? So this is the one information they're facing. So you guys know about Docker, right? So this is my Docker system. In this particular system, Docker is running. And right now, if you run the Docker, right, after run the Docker, you launch the container. And if you want to see how many container running, this is the command you use. Right now, I don't have any container running. But if you run this Docker -a, what it shows you, it shows you the total number of container that is in the stop state. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 container is in the stop state. Okay, but guys, what is this? What I'm doing? I am retrieving the information. How? For retrieving the information, first I have to go to the OS where Docker running. Then I should know this command. Then I run this command and see there's no container running, 5 container stop. Okay, that's what I got. I got the information. And this information that you got is called metrics. Then again, after 1 second, again you just go and check how many is running. Again you go after 15 seconds, just check how many is running. Again you go check and check how many is running. So it's not possible, right? It's not like one system we have. We have hundreds and thousands systems running in our data center. It's not possible for us to keep on checking. But here, without knowing any of the command, right? My Prometheus store this metrics, this information in this metrics. This is the name of the metrics. And what they find there is none of the container running, and 5 container are in this in the stop state. That's what they're showing you. Okay, so it is so so clean. And right now it is one node, right? Maybe thousands of nodes is there. They're showing me all the information on node, right? About all the nodes where they are running. Okay, and as soon as you start the container, you guys know how to start: Docker run -idt, let's say CentOS. Okay, so my container start in the background. You guys know the command, so we can check also. but we don't have to record to check it, right? But this content is started by me, or this content might be started by Kubernetes. I don't know who is started. This is not my lookout as a monitoring guy who is started this. My lookout is just keep on monitoring here. Again, execute this key and see here. You see one is running, and it's real time, right? Even the by chance Prometheus give you very basic look visuals. It's not so much beautiful, very basic visuals from the graph. From here you can see. So this is one you can say one hike come up. Okay, so let's decrease the time of 5 minutes. You can see. So some second ago, my one, what is this one? You can see here in the live graph is one new Docker running. So they give the information. And here till 4 guys, some guys are 0. And if you see only the running, just click here. They only show the graph of running containers. Only pause, everything 0. Stop, 0. Or maybe 5 actually. 5 containers stopped. Okay, and running is only 1 guy. So some second ago, at that time they're running. So very basic visuals they give you, but not so much in powerful. We require some powerful visual, interactive. We can do a lot of changes. So there's a role of Grafana come in play. We'll discuss in the future, but this is a very basic visual they give you. Okay, one more small thing. Should we have to remember this keyword? No, we don't require. Why the metrics name is so big, right? Because by looking at the metrics, you come to know that this is the engine, is Docker engine, container engine, and they're talking about the container states. State means stop, start, running. So that's what they're talking about. Okay, let's say about CPU. Okay, so let's say the total CPU execute. So they are talking about CPU states or CPU information. So maybe you guys doesn't know IAQ or maybe nice value, but they're giving you some CPU information. Or let's say, let me pick some other value, maybe memory. Okay, so now we don't know about what is the right keyword, but I know we are looking for memory free. Just try to use this keyword the way we search in the Google. So they might give you this vocabulary that I am the metric, I am the information, I am the key who is maintaining the metrics of or the information of the memory. For what? For nodes only. So if you have 1 node, 10 node, 100 node, all the node metrics I am monitoring. Execute. So this is the metric of node 1. And this is the total memory free in I think the bytes. But if you're not happy in the bytes, now all of your mathematical operation you do here, just divide this guy with 1024. That's all. You can do the division here. Again execute. So they show you the metrics, and obviously first was byte, then it becomes kilobyte. You want to see the MB? Again divide 1024. 57 MB. So this particular point in time, in that particular node, 57 MB RAM is, because memory is what RAM is free. So you can do these basic operations here. So I'll take one, not today, but I will take some more advanced class to show you a lot of queries here, how we can run it. Okay, but before this, let me show you one more interesting concept here. And the concept is right now the setup is something like this. My setup is something like this. Okay, I have one VM. Okay, and this is my Prometheus server. Right? And this VM, we have 2 targets by chance. One target is my Docker service, and one target is my entire node. Okay, and both the guys, the Prometheus server is pulling the information. Right? But what I'm going to do, just for showing some more small demo, right? I'm going to add one more VM, and here I'm also making this VM as a one target. For what? Just for node. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll tell my Prometheus, just go and fetch the metrics, pull the metrics. Because you're looking for the node, obviously you have the exporter available. So that's what we are doing. So I'm using one other operating system, or maybe the same operating system where your Prometheus server is running. So you can use the third operating system also to make it faster. I'm using the same VM where Prometheus server is running. So what I'm doing for this, you have to install node export here, node exporter here. I don't have right now. 1 minute, guys. Let me copy. So if you guys know SCP command, from one VM of Red Hat to other VM, you can copy the software or file. So from this system, I'm copying this program to my other VM that is having the IP. I normally forgot always having the IP 100 in the desktop. So either you copy from here, either you copy from from WinSCP that your lookout. But for me, it is faster, so I'm copying this. So nothing special. What I did, right? Because I want to make this VM. This is one more VM you can think to run the node exporter. So I copy it. Okay, so this is a SCP command. Even though if those guys who go through my Linux videos, this command I explained you there in detail. So this node exporter come up, or because this export I downloaded is a tar, you have to extract this -x zf node exporter. After export, folder created, and go inside the folder and run the file. That's all, guys. So simple. That's the only thing you have to do. Okay, so wherever you download the exporter, you have to just extract and run it. So when you run it, it again start on port number 9100. So technically in this system, I also start one more program running on port number 9100. Yes. Then what to do? I'll go to my Prometheus and say the one more target. And for getting the target, run the job. So there will be 3 jobs. Job 1, job 2 already running. Job 3, one I'm going to run here for this target. And right now this target is having some IP address. So IP of this guy is 100. So IP 100 has, so this is 101, or 100 has one node. So for this, you go to Prometheus server. So for me, by chance, Prometheus server is the same. So this is my Prometheus server. Again, I'll go to the configuration file of Prometheus server. Okay, this is the file I'm using. Same file, same thing. I'm doing nothing new. So that is I'm a little faster. So don't think I'm doing it faster, because the same thing I'm doing. Okay. So again, copy the file, paste the file, just give the new job name. Let's say this is my node 2, and IP of this guy is 100, and the program that is running on the 100 is 9100. That's all. It's simple, right? So now we have this is the by default. This Prometheus, they're monitoring their own system, but 3 more target we have it, right? Somebody running on this IP, somebody running on this IP, somebody on the same IP, a different port. That's what we're doing. Okay. For you change something file, you have to restart services. So for this, either you Control-C or use the hub command, right? And for hub command, you have to find the process ID, and you have to find the process ID of this process, right? So there is one more command available in Linux to find the process ID. It's called pgrep. So if you know the process name, this command gives the process ID. So either you can use ps command, that was the way I show you. There's one more command of the Linux. They show you this process running, and the process ID, pgrep is, I'm grabbing the process ID, is this one. And because you know the process ID, I can use hub on 8799. Okay, 8799 I can do. Okay, that's all. So they reload the process or reload the configuration file. Okay, so now again go to my Prometheus. Now you see one more target come up. So we have 2 targets, 1 Docker, node 1 and node 2. And whatever information we're facing for the node 2 is coming with this level. Now we can see some extra practicals here. So I did this because now if you search for memory free, so this is a node keyword, not node 1 or node 2 keyword. all the node exporter, maybe node 1 or maybe the node 2, they give the information uh, uh, with this keyword or this key value or this key pair. But if you see here, you get two informations here. Okay, by chance the matrix name is same, key name is same, but same key name is giving two values. How you come to know this value is from node 1 or IP 101? So there the role of tag come in play. So from this tag I come to know this is come from node 1, this is come from node 2. So that's what I was talking about there, right? So technically, whenever Prometheus store the information in their database, they store three things: time, it's also known as timestamp, plus metric informations. And how many metrics they are storing? See here, huge, a lot of metrics they have, so much. Okay, because they're storing a lot of information. How? Something like this. Okay, key 1 having value 1, key 2 having value 2, where in one single box. So those guys who know a little bit about data structure or the data science, so if you have any table, and in one table, if you in one box, if you store only one data like hi or hello, so it's called 2D table. But in one box, and in the box, if you store multiple value, key value, key value, key value, multiple value, then it is called multi-dimensional database or data set. Okay, so technically in Prometheus, in one box, in one record, you are storing a lot of key value pairs, right, about RAM, CPU. That is also a reason why Prometheus is known as it is a multi-dimensional matrix storage. Okay, that's the reason. So whenever you read somewhere Prometheus multi-dimensional, so this is a term, is a Prometheus is a multi-dimensional data model for time series data. Identify key name and the key value pair. Okay, and the query that I'm writing here is called PromQL. So this is known as, this is a very small query. It's called PromQL. Okay, and whatever data you store here, information, right? It has been tagged with some name. So three things they are showing: time, tag, and metrics. So this is what they're showing you. This is the metrics and the value, metrics and the tag. Time they doesn't show you, but we have some command I'll show you. But the graph they're showing the time here. See here, the graph. This is the bound in the x-axis. You can see the time, right? About because the memory, right? So they're showing you the memory, and this the red one is about the node 2. Is node 1 because node 2 I just fetch. So from where I start fetching, they're doing. So again, same thing guys. I told you. Okay, my system is running from last 2 hours. But Prometheus only stored those data what are they fetch on the real time. So when I start the job, they start fetching. When I start the job, they start fetching. So they're fetching on the real time. What from real time they are showing you, right? So at this time 54, this is the memory. At this time, this is the memory, and you see that the delay of 15 seconds. 84, 54, then 8, then 22, around 15 second delay they have because they're fetching not continuous. They're fetching after 15 seconds, but keep on doing is called real time. You can change the time, increase or decrease time, your choice. Okay, this is one small thing. And again, let me go to console. This info. Now, if you have a requirement that you would, maybe right now you have 2 nodes, right? Or maybe thousands of nodes in the real world we have. So what can you do? I can only tell me the memory for node 1. So for this, you have to filter. And for the filter, the syntax that we have to use, syntax that we have to use is this one. First, you have to give your metric name, which information you would like to fetch, which information you would like to fetch. Then you tell the filter name or the label name, right? For which node, technically right word would be for which target you would like to filter. Tell the target name. Okay, so for given target name, you write between the curly braces. Okay, for example, I am looking for this metric for the target called node 1. Okay, node 1. But technically, like, and it's not like the randomly user write, it won't give you anything, it will give the error also. Okay, because target, if you see here, target, they given you the target level like this. Either you use this one or use this one. So job equals to node 1. So this is the tag they give you. So it is something like, Docker also, or Kubernetes also, pod we give the label, right? So it is same kind of level key value pair, right? So same key value pair you to give. So again, I'm searching for memory free, right? Even though also you can copy from here also. So the same thing, right? So let me copy from here and this one and curly braces. Okay, if you give the space here, even though it work, some of the version I've seen it is working. So I suggest don't give the space here. I suggest. Okay, so now it will filter for you only this information or the metric for this particular target or the node. They filter for you. And now after this, convert into bytes. You convert it kilobytes. All the operation for this node, 64,000 kilobyte is the total memory free right now. That's what you can do here. Right? Or maybe initial information might be kilobyte. It might be kilobyte, I think. Just go and check in the document. Maybe in the kilobytes. And if you convert into 1024, it become your megabyte. So 783 megabyte memory is free. Okay, that's the way to work. One more information I would like to give you here is, here if you see, right, they are giving the information totally. Okay, there's one more syntax you can write here. I will explain it in more detail. For example, if you write 1M means 1 minute. If you run this, then a lot of information come up, a lot of values come up, okay, about something. But if you do this and right, if you now create the graph, right, there's no meaning of the graph because we haven't given the range. But technically, I will explain you. There's one concept called rate and the range. When I go for some detailed discussion about the query or the prom QL, I will explain you. So if you want to set the rate of your per minute rate of your CPU, per minute rate of your means in 1 minute, how many, what is the average CPU you use, or what is the average bytes transfer, what is the average Docker shut down and click. So this is the way we do. So I will explain this concept from very fresh. I'm not doing this right now. Just think key and the level, but they have a lot of functions available. Okay, so one function is a read function, other function, I will take this thing in detail in the next class. So I just want to take the PromQL till here, but there's a lot of things is going to come up, or come up in the PromQL, especially the Prometheus. One of the special thing is PromQL that I will discuss in detail in the next class. Okay, right now I would like to start one new topic, but again I'm repeating. And this topic is again very interesting. New topic I would like to start today. What we did till here, very quickly I would like to summarize, because next topic is linked to this topic. So we have one target is node 1. We have one more target is node 2. We have one more target, Docker services. 3 different targets we have. When I say target, it means these are systems where we are interested in. For what? For monitoring. And for monitoring, we need information, we need a data. It's called metrics. Okay. So who will collect the metrics? So for this, we have Prom server. So guys, in a minute, I'm going to start a new topic. So please link uh, again with this new diagram. So Prom server duty is two major duty. First, they go to this guy and download the information, means metrics. And where they store? They store in their storage known as database. The question is why we need Prometheus. Okay, Prometheus need is not for pulling. This is not the main need for Prometheus. For pulling, we can also do ourselves, right? I show you. We know the URL. We keep on refreshing here. Just go for search. Number of containers, one running on a thing. We can do from here also. How much the total counts of some of the container, all the things. Tons of information we have. We can fetch from here ourselves, right? But why we need Prometheus? The one of the main need for the Prometheus, right, is to create this database. And not only create the database, not only store the metrics or the value. Main thing is store this information with the time series, right? So Prometheus, we ask Prometheus, whenever you download, obviously you download for the real time. Real time means whatever the time you go, when you go, that time they will give the information, right? So that is the real time for you. Okay, so your requirement is to store your database in such a way that you also store time. So they are not giving the time to you. They are not the one who giving the time to you. You have to store the time with the respective metrics and the information. So main duty of Prometheus is to create this database. So you can also say Prometheus is one kind of time series database. So there's other database also available in the market, right? Like Graphite or InfluxDB. So tons of database available in the market for storing time series data. Means we have the information with the time, with the time. Okay, so those guys who know about anything about database, you can consider time as a one column and it is a primary key. Not exactly, but something like this. And it is always normally unique. And they are the one who know about the data. So those who know, but it's not so much important here, right? So point is, guys, technically, according to me, Prometheus is not exactly a monitoring tool. They are the tool who store the data in time series format. Okay, this is the only use of Prometheus. But because they are storing data, right, by themselves, they are pulling by themselves. That's the good thing. This extra feature. And because they're pulling, so whatever data we are getting is real time. So technically, Prometheus is not monitoring. By chance, somebody has created one web UI on the top of Prometheus, through which we can use the Prometheus QL language to see basic graph and the information. That's what we do. So it look like it is monitoring tool. Maybe you can say it's not wrong, right? But this is not the only thing about the monitoring. In the monitoring, tons of things we have to do. So alone, if you talk about the Prometheus, that they are not actually meant for monitoring or meant for creating this visual. By chance they have the option, but it's not the actual create one. So I can say Prometheus is mainly a tool to create the database in time series. So what can I do? Now let's explore one more tool. So we will going to use one more tool that will actually do a monitoring for us. Okay, or they actually do and create a graph visuals for us. So this kind of graph is called visuals. They create a visual for us. Okay, and they're so powerful in the terms of creating the visuals or monitoring and some other things they do for you. But only challenge in this tool, though who do visuals or monitoring, the only challenge in this tool is they need a data, because without the data there is no meaning of creating the graph. Okay, so what we will do, guys, hold for a second please. So what we will do, okay, we will ask this tool, okay, but we already have the data, right? Where? Here. Just go here, pull the data, and after pull, whatever how we would like to monitor, how we would like to create a visual, we can do it. Okay, so one of the great tools that we always used with the Prometheus is called Grafana. Grafana. So Grafana is a one tool, okay, that we use to create the graph visuals. And obviously if you the graph visual create, what you do with the graph visual? Obviously graph visual is for monitoring, right? We can see one hike here, spike here, suddenly my RAM increase, now my RAM decrease. So we can see what is this is called monitoring. So why RAM increase? So we can go this particular point in time and we'll do some more analysis or root cause analysis, why it is increased, right? So if you want to do monitoring, the best way to do monitoring is, it is very hard, right? If you do this way, can you tell me the node current RAM, this one, again run, again change, again run. So this is not the right way to do monitoring, right? Even though we can monitor, but it's not the best way to monitor. The best way to monitor is always to create graphs or the visuals. Okay, so for this, the great tool to create a graph and visual is called Grafana. So Grafana is just a tool, very beautiful tool, one come with web UI, beautiful user interface in the web UI. Or because in the web UI you can access from any of the system from your browser. But only Grafana need is data. Okay, and how right now where I have the data? I have the data in my Prometheus database server. So Grafana go there and pull it. So again, Grafana also pulling the data. So they are not one who's sending the data. Grafana go here, pull the data, and after pull the data, they create a graph for you. So that's what Grafana is doing for you. Okay. So one more term I would like to show you, tell you before we go for Grafana. Again, setting up the Grafana is so simple, right? But technically, it is something like this. This is Grafana. Okay. Now Grafana need data. Now your choice is, where is your data? Data might be in your CSV file. Data might be in your Excel sheet. Data might be in an AWS cloud. So if you know, there's one service called CloudWatch. If you guys know, data might be in Prometheus database. Data might be in MySQL. So wherever you have the data, Grafana is so powerful. They have a capability to go here and download it. Okay, they can download from approximate from anywhere. Okay, because after getting data they can get a visual of the graphs. Okay, but technically in this perspective, wherever you have the data are known as data source. So Excel sheet is my data source, Prometheus DB is my data source, Oracle MySQL is my data source. So Grafana support almost all the major major data source, right? They support. Okay. In my case, I'm going to show you the practical with Prometheus. So for the Grafana, Prometheus database is the data source for the Grafana. Okay, so you can think Grafana is an independent tool. Prometheus is independent tool. There is no link. So I'm going to show you how to integrate Grafana with Prometheus. That's what I would like to show you here. So for this, you just need Grafana tool. So for Grafana, okay, download. So this is the site you go. And here they give you software to download. I'm going for open source. They have one more version called enterprise. There's I think they charge you, or there's a license. So go for freeware, open source, and where you would like to install Grafana in Windows, Mac, Docker also. But I'm going to install in the Linux. All right. But in which Linux? I'm going to install in Red Hat Linux. Okay. And this is the software they have given you. So download the software and install it with yum command, or maybe rpm command if you know you can install it. So pretty straightforward. Go and download and install it. So let me show you. I have already downloaded to save the time. Okay, 1 minute. I have already downloaded. So here I have yeah, here I have downloaded already. So use that command, copy paste, and it will download. Obviously you require internet connectivity. Download this, but I'm planning to install this software in other VM. 1 minute. So IP of my other VM might be 101. So I'm copying this software in my other VM. I'm using SCP to copy. You can use other tool to copy, or directly download that system only. Your choice. Okay. So this software I have downloaded in this system, but I want to install in that system due to some reason. Okay. So technically the software you downloaded, right? So I'm not wasting the time how to download. So this software I have right with me. So download here, from here. Just use this command exactly the same, and it will download for you. Or just double click there, downloading in Windows, and from Windows use WinSCP. And after download, install it. How to install? There are a lot of ways to install. I'm going to use yum install and give the complete software name. Grafana. What happening? So let me copy. That's all. They install this software for you. So very simple. Two things, and it has been installed. Okay. So first, download the software. Second, install the software. And because it is a program, you have to start the services. Even though they have given the command also, they ask you to run these 3 commands. So systemctl daemon reload. This is one command they ask you to run. Then run enable command. You guys know what is the use of enable command. Enable command is used to make the service permanent. So after reboot, your service doesn't stop. And start command, you guys also know it is to start the service. That's all, guys. Pretty straightforward. Grafana installed and running successful. Right? So in this particular system, sorry, IP address 8. So in IP 8, no, sorry, 100, sorry. In IP address 100, your Grafana is running. Now, wherever you have a data source, doesn't matter, you just require connectivity. Maybe here, maybe MySQL, you can do the connectivity. Okay, so let me show you how to integrate Grafana with a Prom database. So for this, Grafana give you beautiful web UI, and this web UI running on the port number, I think 3000, if I'm not wrong. So let me show you how to use it. So I'll go to my IP address 100. On port number, I think 3000. Yeah. So guys, this is the web UI or the login page of the Grafana. Okay. By default, guys, the username is admin and password is also admin. So initially, your username and the password both are admin. So username and the password both are admin. Okay. So logging with this username and password. Obviously, they ask you to change the password. So I'm changing some password here. So reset your password, submit. So this is the first page or the home page of the Grafana. This is the home page of the Grafana. And what they are saying you, I'm a new tool for monitoring. Again, for monitoring, you need a data. So can you tell me, if you see a data source, can you tell me your first data source, from where you fetch the data from? So I'll just click on my data source from here. Okay, so just click here, because according to my diagram in the Grafana, we will tell where to pull my data from, right? So you have to give your data source location. So that's what I'm giving here. So data source. Now here they give you option. If you see, guys, there are a lot of data sources they support. Prometheus, Graphite, InfluxDB, okay, Elasticsearch, Jipkin, MySQL, Postgre, Microsoft SQL, in cloud, CloudWatch, Azure. Splunk also is a very powerful thing. Splunk also. So Splunk also data we can also fetch from the Splunk, right? Due to there's some use cases for this, but I'm not discussing about Splunk. Maybe a lot of guys might doesn't know. Okay, App Dynamics. Okay, so these are by default name they given, but they have extra plugins also available, right? You can access from Oracle also, some other also. So they support. These are the very common name they show you, but we can add some more. There's some plugin for this. Okay, but here I am going to integrate Grafana with Prometheus. So I'm selecting this particular guy here. Okay. Now here, what we ask, pretty straightforward. That's all. Tell me the URL of the Prometheus. That's all. And we know the URL of Prometheus is this one. So wherever they are running, it doesn't matter. You're running the same system, you're running other system, you're running Windows, you're running in the cloud, other laptop, wherever Prometheus is running, give the URL. That's all. That is the only thing you have to do. Nothing great. That's all. Okay. And because you are going to add multiple data source, so give every data source a name. So for example, this is my Prometheus. So just give some name. What a name you would like to give. My AWS, my something. Okay, and they give you options to test your connectivity. Whatever the URL you give is right or not. So test. So you see all in green, it means you have proper connectivity. There's no issue in the connectivity. There's no issue of the firewall, and your Prometheus is working fine, and you have successfully connected to the data source. That's all. That's the only thing you have to do. Some more options we have, we will discuss in the future whenever we require, but these are the right main thing we require. And save it. This part is done. After save, now if you go to your home page again, okay, here they again ask you to to add some more. We don't require. So what I'm doing right now, after you you add, so even though there's one more way to go, So if you want to connect to the data source from here, or there's one more way you can also go from here. In the left side is called data source. You can also go from here. Okay, so if you click here, same way, same location, you reach again. You asking you want to search for more, just click on the add to more, or this is the one we have already created. You want to change something, just click here, and they can ask you to change something. We don't require right now, but there's one more option here called dashboard. Okay, so what is the dashboard here? So let me explain you. Okay, so what the Grafana do for you? They help you in monitoring. How? By creating the graph or the visuals, right? Which kind of visual? Something like this. Something like this. Something like this kind of visuals they create. Okay, but where they create this visual? Okay, they create this visual in one page. In one page, they create a visual. Like one visual they create with this kind of graph. Right. One kind of visual they might create this kind of graph. One kind of visual they might create this kind of graph. The page where you create all the visuals, maybe you want to see the number of byte transfer per IP, maybe you want to see the number of traffic up and down, maybe you want to see the number of content running. So this page where you want to see all the visuals are known as dashboard. Okay, and this is the main power of the Grafana. So Grafana actually very famous for the dashboard because the dashboard is very beautiful, very good looking, right? So Grafana is famous because of the dashboard. Because in the dashboard we create a lot of beautiful visuals we can create, right? So that's what they're talking about. Okay, so Prometheus created. So do you want to create visuals from the Prometheus? Okay, so they already have pre-created dashboards, so I can import it. Even though I in the next class I'll show you how to create your own visual, but some of the visual that is very commonly used, it has been available, already available. We can directly import and use it. Okay, so I'll show you in the upcoming class. You can also create your own customized dashboard. So I import it. That's all. One click, it has been imported. Okay, after import, now this link is clickable, and if you click in this link, now this is the dashboard that they come up with. And guys, you see automatic, almost all the main graph has been created. Okay, everything has been created. Everything's been created. And what you see, your uptime is 1.3 hours. Of which target? We see the target name here, localhost, but this is the target you have. Okay, so by default, because I told you in the Prometheus, right? In Prometheus, there are a lot of targets. Okay, one of the target is your own Prometheus. So Prometheus also retrieving their metrics. So this metrics they are sending to this guy, and they're showing my Prometheus running for 1.3 hours, and this is the time whenever they scrap, means they run the jobs and other things also they're showing you. So this now this this particular dashboard is not so much important for us, but I'm just trying to show you some of the dashboard they automatically create for you, but most of the time you might have to create your own dashboard. Okay, so as a quick note, if you want to see and check, let me show you. So if you want to create your own dashboard, so there's a plus option here, dashboard. Okay, so I am going to create one new dashboard. Okay, that's why new dashboard created. That's all. So simple. One click and new dashboard created. Okay, but in the dashboard, guys, there's a page. Inside the dashboard, you have to create these boxes. And these boxes are known as panel. You have to create the panels. So right now I'm going to create a first panel. So click on add. So in this one dashboard, name is your new dashboard. You can change the name. But in this dashboard, I'm going to create a one new panel. Click here. Now in this panel, what you would like to draw? Okay, so depend upon use case. Okay, we will discuss in detail. You want to create a dashboard like this column graph, this bar graph, this line graph, time series graph, pie graph. Which kind of visual you want to create? So if you guys if you see in the right corner, it's called visualization option. If you click here, these are different kind of graphs we have for different use case: heat map, news, logs, tables. We have different kind of graph available. So we'll guys discuss about different use cases, about which kind of graph when to use when. Let me choose graph. Graph is like a line graph. So this is the visual I want. That's all. This is my visual. But for guys, any visual, you need data, right? You need a data. Okay. From where we pick the data from? So right now my Grafana is only connected to one data source called Prometheus. So first you select the visuals. Okay, that's what I selected. Let me share this thing to you. After get the select the visuals, here in the left side in middle of screen, you can see the default option here. From where? So I will fetch my data from my Prometheus, from MySQL, from cloud, from where you would like to fetch from. So I would like to fetch from my Prometheus. Okay, so that's what you select. Now, if you talk about the Prometheus, you guys know in the Prometheus there are a lot of metrics. Which metrics? Which metrics? You will give you metrics name here. And now you see, guys, right now I am into Grafana, but from here I can run the query of Prometheus. Okay, let's say containers. Here all the name come up, guys. All the information of metrics of your Prometheus come up, right? This is also a good way to check that my Grafana and Prometheus connectivity is going good. Okay, so this is the information they're fetching up. And for example, I'm looking for metrics, or I'm looking for the metrics free metrics, or maybe the right name is node underscore memory. So technically Grafana doesn't know about this information, right? They doesn't know about these metrics. Okay, so these metrics actually they're real time on the real time they're fetching. Okay, or maybe if you know the key query here, you can copy from here also. Let me fetch from here free this one. So whatever query you write here, exactly same query of prom query you can write here. And that is the reason, guys, having good knowledge in prom query is so important. So whatever query you write, exactly same query you have to write here. Right here. That's all. So this is the, see guys, on the real-time graph comes here. So beautiful. Okay. So this information coming where, right? This information is there on my, they're showing me on my Grafana. And if you see this, what can you do? You can do monitor. But this information is coming from where? It's coming from my data source. And because my data source is Prometheus, so I write Prometheus query here. Whatever query you know, you can write it. But yes, you see the visual of this graph is so pretty, and then you can do a lot of things here. For example, you can zoom here. So for example, I want to highlight this. So highlight this part is zoomed. And because they are showing me the both for node 1, node 2. So this is node 1, this is node 2. I can filter here the way we filter, right? So this is what we can do. Okay. And if you think everything is good, you can set the time from last 5 minutes, last 15 minutes. You can see same with the status of last 5 minutes. So this is my live 5 minute status. So this is the status of my last 5 minutes of my this node or this node, or maybe last 3 hours. So this is last 3 hours status of this guy and this guy. Okay, and that's what we can, or you can squeeze this guy of this time. Okay, that's what you can do here. Okay, one more interesting thing you can do here. Let me first save it. I'm saving this. Here, guys, they ask you to give the dashboard name. So let's say my promo dashboard one. You can give the dashboard name. What if folder we will discuss in the future? And let me save. Okay, if you see, guys, finally your dashboard created. So finally one dashboard we created. All right, one dashboard we created, but we have one panel. Same way you can add multiple panels. Let me click very fastly one more panel. So in the top, I'm the same dashboard here. In the same page, I just click on the top. Do you want to add new panel? Yes. Again, in this visuals, I would like to show you the guys. Okay. From where I would like to use my Prometheus. And what I would like to show here, let me pick my container count, and I'm looking for only for this tag, this tag. But this is one query I pick randomly, so through two. So this is a query I have, right? You know this query, search any keyword you write here and type here. Okay, so maybe this gas might not be fit for, but I'll tell you guys when which type of data you to use for which kind of query. Let's go for stats. What are they showing you? 1 minute. You know why they're showing here, why they're not showing here? Because depending on the query, your query has a multiple values, actually multiple values behind the scene with the time. So if you have any output come up with a one single discrete value, so I will discuss, guys, don't worry about discrete gas value. So they show you here. So they show you the graph for the discrete, and let me save it. Okay, so no save and apply. So guys, in one dashboard, two panel come up. And guys, this is real time, right? Right now it's real time. You can make this graph real time. Okay, how? So it is something like this. There's option here, right? Just refresh this page after every 5 seconds. So you can see this graph will on the real time is keep on increasing, decreasing. Every 5 seconds they refresh, and you can see on the real time. It's a real time graph they create. Real time graph they create. Okay, but it is not updating because I select this graph for some time stamp. So what I'm doing, I'll again go to my this dashboard, my promo dashboard, and let's go for 1 minute. It is, yeah, edit. So in the panel, I just go to the edit. Okay, and here because I squeeze this graph, so let me change to last point. There's a last point. Click in the top. I go to last. I go to last. Okay, and then again apply. Okay, and I'll refresh this dashboard to 5 seconds. So it's like a real time. Now every 5 seconds they run on. If you see, guys, in the real time they're updating. If you're in the top graph, in in the bottom graph also it should refresh, but depending on what data they are fetching. But every 5 seconds, if they are getting the data, they are fetching it. But in the top graph, you might see there they are fetching every 5 seconds. Or you can refresh from here. So we'll talk about more how to create more granular, multiple different kind of graph. So I suggest just take a high level look about this graph, and just change the time real time last 5 minutes, just a lot of time. Today last 3 hours, and 1 minute for 5 seconds. So you see guys, in the real time they're updating, right? I just change. It's depend on the time, what time you fetch. So if you see also, they are also updating, but it's very, you see high level they're updating. Every 5 seconds they are updating behind the scene. Okay, and the memory. So it's the memory of my both the nodes. They are updating on the real time. So it is a way we are monitoring. It's not a perfect graph, very beautiful graph we can create, but it all depend upon the queries that you know. Okay, the better you write the query, more information you can fetch, and accordingly you can create the proper graphs, right? So finally, the summary is, right, if you would like to create a dashboard, okay, inside the dashboard, if you want to create this box called panels, inside the panel you can create a graph, either static graph or real time. We'll discuss about those things, and types of graph also. We'll discuss about the point when to use Gauss graph and gaze graph and other kind of graph. We will discuss in detail, but today my intention is to introduce you. There's one Grafana tool available. Grafana guys never retrieve the metrics. Okay, I mean, they never go to target and retrieve the metrics. They don't have a capability. Grafana only need a data, and that data always they read from the data source, like PromoSQL or maybe MySQL. And whatever data you fetch, you can use this data to create a visual, and after the visual we can monitor. That's what we do. And so today I show you how to integrate Grafana with PromQL. Pretty straightforward, very simple, a very powerful tool. So both the tool is now a market standard. So in the metrics monitoring world and industry, Prometheus is the market standard, and Grafana is again the market standard in the metrics monitoring system. Not metrics, log also. The Grafana is a one solution for any kind of monitoring, maybe log or maybe metrics, maybe other kind of thing also. So one stop solution for everything. It's so powerful tool, so mature also. Okay, so mature also they are. Okay, so that's all guys. Tomorrow my plan is to go more deep dive into PromQL plus more deep dive into Grafana. So we will use both tools together. Okay, so my plan is first I run the query here. Same query I will go and run from here by creating one what do you say, one panel. Okay, so both the things will come in the panel. So when I run this query here, then I explain you which kind of graph is good for this query. So it is not like there's any kind of graph you can add. It is all depend which kind of query you are adding. Okay, so that's one. But it's a real time is very nice. So it's going slow because I give the time very squeeze the time. But every second, if you see, they're updating. This is the real time status you are seeing. Okay, and if I got the time, I'll try to integrate this Grafana with deep learning or the MySQL, machine learning, and I'll try to indicate with at the time when you guys train the model, right? On the real time, they're fetching the metrics, accuracy, loss, and they're showing you here in the real time. You can see the loss is decreasing, increasing. You know, so the task number 3 I've given you guys in the machine learning, right? The integration with Jenkins, changing the hyperparameter. So powerful if you integrate with the this continuous tool also, continuous monitoring tool also. So we'll discuss. If we got the time, I'll show you this kind of advanced examples also. So that's all guys, very straightforward topic, very interesting. We'll see more advanced practical in the future. So so any questions if you have, you can ask me guys. Yes, we integrate guys Grafana with what do you say, we integrate Grafana with Kubernetes also. I'll show you if you want how to integrate Grafana with Kubernetes. And there's that you can see one of the power of Prometheus, right? Because we integrate via Prometheus. So I can show you one dynamic feature of Prometheus. Again, it will be the one great topic. Does Flutter is available for DevOps plus cloud student? Yes, yes. So anybody who is doing DevOps plus cloud, Flutter is free for you guys. Anybody is doing MLOps plus cloud, Flutter is free for you guys, because at least one platform like cloud you require and one technology you require to create something. So anybody here in DevOps class and with the cloud, Flutter will be free for you. But all the options that I explained you guys in MLOps class is free for you. How to convert a CSV file? Gautam, might be I'll take one class of CSV, but technically CSV normally we don't monitor. It is a one-time import, because CSV file like a static file, so data is not changing in the CSV file. Depend upon the use case also, but we directly import and we just visualize the complete scene from the CSV file. What should be job recheck interval in Negro? If we can use 5 minutes, it is 5:15 is very less, or generate a lot of load on server. Actually, it depends upon what kind of metrics we are picking up. So maybe if you are picking a lot of metrics, and every 15 seconds, Rakesh, if you keep on retrieving the metrics, it will create the load. So there's no fixed answer for this. That's what you have to keep on, again, you have to keep on examine upon your application, your node, plus who is exporting. In the Negues, you use 5 minutes, but depend again what kind of metrics you are monitoring. Maybe in some example, 5 minutes also been high load. So there's no so there's no meaning. To maybe sometime 1 second also will fine for us. So it depends upon the tool to tool, application to application. There's no fixed answer for neither for the Negues or neither for the Prometheus. Tar not running in CLI. Raga was to run. I don't think so. Just copy it and run it. How to copy in same way? Win SAP. And after copy, just run it. Just only check one small thing. You should have a connectivity. So this is your CLI system. Just do right click, go to settings, and here just go and check the network connectivity. In my case, it is netting. You don't have a connectivity. So I told you in my last class also, add one more adapter with a host only. Okay, so this using this net, this OS can go to internet. Using this guy, you will have a local connectivity with Windows and the other VM. So just check the connectivity. Otherwise, star command is a very common command. It will work in CLI also. Same command. If you go for CLI, there is no change. How to integrate Prometheus with Jenkins? Yes, hers. We have. I have one great practical. I might show you tomorrow. How to integrate Prometheus. A lot of testing part in the Jenkins we can do with the Prometheus. I'll show you. Different between agent and the exporter. Technically, it is a different name actually. Right, different name actually. In some technology, it is known as agent. In some technology, it is known as exporter. Like if you go for Splunk, they use the term universal forwarder. So every technology has a their own name, but almost they use the same. So technically, you can think in this way. In this world, if anybody in this particular concept, if one program is running here and they're doing something here and keep on sending data to you and keep on doing something for you for this sender guy. So this program is known as agent. That's all. But here in this PromQL, we are giving this program a name exporter because exporter is the right term here, rather than we say the agent. Agent is not the wrong, but exporter means they're exporting the information. So technically, agent is one general name you can use anywhere. But in the Prom SQL, instead we use agent, we use exporter. Can we say Grafana is a pure monitoring tool? Yes, monitoring tool plus they have some more options, extra option like giving the alert or notification. So there's a different point altogether. But yeah, but normally it's a part of monitoring tool. So Grafana is a pure monitoring tool, even though if you check their site also, okay, it is a pure monitoring solution for every database. And obviously, if you monitor, then you can do analytics. That's all right. So it is a pure monitoring tool, and where you can create your own custom dashboard. So I show you very basic dashboard today. We'll discuss very complex dashboard in next class. What is use of insert metrics? We will discuss, Mohammed, when I go for some more advanced class. I'll try to touch all the keywords of the Grafana. Rajnish, if you ask last layer predefined, if you can ask me uh, in the CNN class. But how can we remove last layer from self pre? I told you, Rajnish, how to remove, right? So the same, I think same logic will go, right? Or I think we have some more way. So just try to use the same method that I show you how to, with remove layer keyword in the model function. Just try it. Otherwise, I'll just give you some other options. Prometheus data avishkan so graph update after. Yes, Prometheus guys actually is facing 15-second. Premchand, you are absolutely right. So that is also a reason, right? What should we have to do as a plan? Because technically, Prometheus is fetching the data every 15 seconds. Okay, so ask Grafana also to come every 15 seconds. Right now, if Grafana keep on coming to me every 5 seconds, they doesn't find anything new. Okay, so it is also if you updating the graph or the real-time graph, right? So always try to sync with the Prometheus. If Prometheus is getting every 1 second, change also the 1 second. Okay, so there should be this particular sync here, right? What is HUP option 2? There's a lot of Anup. There's a lot of process signals actually. So I don't want to go for process management, but it's a lot of process signal. So one is a kill terminate signal, like -9. It will kill the process. There's some signal that will pause the process. Some like HUP is a one signal of the kill command. It it reload the process. Okay, and in reloading means if the process is getting something from your storage, so they again go and again reload the data from the storage. So that's one of the very simple explanation I tried to give here with -HUP option. So HUP is one single option actually. So if you see kill signals, right, there's a lot of signal like 6 signal, but if you search for HUP, okay, so it's a one signal you can use. HUP. So especially to send the signal, and if you read again, so there are a lot of signals available in the kill command. Every signal is doing something. Is not the right document, but just search with this process signals. If you search, you can come up. how to integrate Grafana to see the future prediction. It all depend upon the query, right? So Grafana is doesn't give you any information. Grafana is only monitoring the thing, right? If you are the part of machine learning, so you can think Grafana is like a matplotlib. Okay, so matplotlib never predict, right? Matplotlib need data. So you have to run some model function. Model will predict and send this data to the Grafana. They will plot it for you. So Prashant, you can think in this way. So Grafana, you can think like a matplotlib or Seaborn, something like this. Okay, Rahul, I will give you the solution for second project. Right, wait for some time. Uh, no, guys, Flutter is we're not allowing for those guys who are machine learning or the DevOps with and DevOps actually. This reason, right? Because when you create a Flutter app, and if you don't have a detailed knowledge of cloud computing, right, your complete project won't be created. And if you guys know, I was talking about to create the project. So that is the reason we have created this combination: machine learning with cloud, or DevOps with cloud. Okay, because the base where we deploy everything would be cloud, right? And it's not just a cloud. There are a lot of things we have to integrate with the front end called Flutter. How please tell me how to integrate machine learning with Grafana here. Sandesh, I will try to take this class for machine learning guys, especially how to integrate Grafana with the machine. Right now, it will be harder for me to explain you, but I'll try to take one class for you. What is Flutter? Flutter is a one product from the Google. It is it's a framework to create the mobile apps. Again, so we can create the mobile very faster, beautiful. All the feature we can add. We can get the Android Android app. We can create the iOS app when one single product called Flutter. Yes, Grafana is tool only to create a visuals. Is about the dashboard, or you can say the visuals. It is that's the tool, right? No, guys, you don't have to register for the Flutter. If you guys was there today with me in the MLOps class, so I announced uh, Flutter is one powerful tool. But the main thing, Flutter create the app, but without the integration of DevOps or without integration of cloud or maybe machine learning, there is no great apps you can create. So I launched this program, Flutter, to create the complete app with all the possible technological integration, and we are giving this tool training free to you guys. So you we will tell you about the registration process, but the training will be free. But the only the combination that we have make the free, even I asked the Preeti or my team, they will update you the combination. So that's what I announced you. I announced today. If you want, I will again announce tomorrow in this class of DevOps. What is affinity or anti-affinity? There's a lot of things, Deepak, in the Kubernetes, affinity, constraints in the Kubernetes. I will, for my side, Kubernetes is not yet complete. There's some more topic I will discuss. But I have core main portion of the Kubernetes. For that main portion, you can do a lot of things. But there's some more thing in the Kubernetes I will to discuss. Some more thing in the Git, some more thing in the Jenkins I will discuss. So my flow is something like this. I'm trying to show you all the major things of all this tool. Then you have a full essence of that all the tools in this DevOps world. Then because now we have all the knowledge, then we again go back and try to pick some of the new features of Jenkins and try to integrate this with these tools. That makes more sense. You feel more great. So example, maybe after this Grafana, I might go to Jenkins and I'll show you how to integrate Jenkins in some of the use case to Prometheus or the Grafana. Okay, so that thing you guys will enjoy a lot. But for this, you should know. Uh, you should know about all the things. So I don't know how to build Android. No Flutter. For the Flutter, there is no prerequisite. You don't require any Java knowledge or the Android. I'm going to start the thing from very zero, because for Flutter we don't require Java knowledge. Flutter has their own language called Dart, D-A-R-T. There's a language from Google. So it's so simple language, simpler than Python also. So I will explain you first Dart, then I'll go for Flutter. So there's no prerequisite for the Android. No free, no Gopal. Flutter is not free only for the cloud guys, because only cloud knowledge also not enough. Okay, so it is like this, right? It is like this, uh, and you guys might know I launched Flutter free for some reason, right? It is not like this. I just launched it as it is, right? So because Flutter will create a mobile app, right? But where you launch this app, the storage, the computing, what they're doing in the background. So always 99% we always need cloud computing. Okay, cloud computing. And but what you gonna do in the app? Okay, so most of the app might use machine learning or the deep learning. As some of the projects you might doesn't need machine learning deep learning, but they have to manage some corporate technical stuff they have to do. So DevOps knowledge. So there's two different thing you can do. Either you go for this combination or either you go for this combination. So that is then go for the Flutter. Either machine learning with cloud computing is compulsory, or DevOps with cloud computing compulsory. Okay, this is two combination you need. So if you are only in machine learning, it's not free. If you're only in DevOps, it is not free. If you are in DevOps or machine learning, it is not free. Because without cloud computing, how you manage multiple infrastructure for the app? Okay, so this is the way we create the instructions. Because file intention, I explained in my machine learning class. We have to create our startup or we have to create our products. So three main component we need: app, cloud, or depend what internal you want to do, either this or either this, right? It's something like this. 442 is a Himani, I agree. I have teach DevOps to teach DevOps for no, my combination is not this one, right? My combination is this one. So cloud plus DevOps, Flutter free. Cloud plus MLOps, Flutter free. Okay. But if you are MLOps or in the DevOps, Flutter, due to some reason, we are not giving you free. What is that reason is? Because when you launch the app, if you don't have the infrastructure, cloud computing, how are you going to manage this? Okay. So you might require storage, you might require API call, you might have to do some authentication, right? Lots of things there, right? So neither machine learning give you those storage or neither DevOps give you. Okay. So maybe harder for me to explain you, but this might be one of the great reason, because my intention is to launch the app, right? Is to launch or create the app. Okay, and successfully build the project. So either we're gonna build a project for technological world, so industry use. Either we build the project for general public. Normally, machine learning or deep learning we require for general public, but depend on the use case also. Okay, so that's the reason we build this. But technical Flutter is free or is not free. That's all. So we will free it only for these two combinations. Task manager is similar to Prometheus. No, exactly, but you can compare it, right? For basic thing. So technically, if I go for task manager, it will show you in the real time. So you can compare the task manager as, let's say, with the Grafana. This is a Grafana, and they are fetching the information directly from the exporter. But your information is not storing anywhere. So if you want to see what happened 1 minute ago or what happened 1 hour ago, so maybe they might not be storing this information anywhere. Okay, and again, task manager is only for one system, right? I'm talking about a big data center, thousands of systems we have, right? So um, so that's all. So we need a tool that is stored, but also monitor the entire infrastructure. It is good practice for Prometheus server to become exporter to. Yes, it is good practice because sometimes we also want to store the information of Prometheus server. Maybe sometime my Prometheus server goes down. In the future, I want to see what happened. So it is always good practice. How to change the port? I'll show you, Ram Wadhwa, how to change the port, even though we have option available. So if you run Prometheus, I'll help. They give you the option, right, to change the port number. So so my Prometheus is running over here. So not this one running. If you run -h, they give you the options. I believe they should be to change the port number. Yeah, this is the one. Here you pass this name, after you can change the number. So at the time of running, just run this command, give this option also. And let's say you want to change the port number to 9012. Now I changed to 9012. So you might see somewhere, or maybe you can just go and check. So on 9012, the Prometheus is running. Okay, so this is the way you can change. Which file prom is called? So Himanshu, this prom database guys store is over here. So if you want to check the prom database, even they have their own binary format. So wherever you are running the Prometheus, I'm running here. So here they create one folder called data folder. So all your timestamp database store in this folder. So we can't read directly, but here they store in there some of their format. So this is the storage of the database of the Prometheus where they store their database. Time series is Baravinda is the concept name, and where we store the data is called THDB. Right? When I say THDB means database, and what kind of database storing? Some information with the time. Okay. So if you always say whenever you want to store a time series data, we have to use THDB. There is no hardware requirement for the cloud computing gears. Basic laptop, 2 GB, 4 GB RAM, 4 GB if you have this good would be enough. Prometheus mainly for OpenShift. No. Prometheus, Neelam, we can monitor everything. I show you the list, right? If you search Prometheus exporter, approximate everything you can monitor with the Prometheus. Any of the tool devices you can monitor. Can you tell me in terms of machine learning with Grafana? Yeah, I do. I will try to do, guys, in the upcoming class. Yes, you can download Balvinder. You can download directly software in your Red Hat. But I downloaded in Windows, so I'll transfer from here and there. You can directly download. Yes, you can integrate Grafana, Chandan, with the Azure also. So in Azure, you have a metric service or monitoring services, right? So they have a plugin. Either you see there, or maybe you just go to Grafana plugin for Azure. So you can do it. So if you search Grafana Azure, um, Azure plugins, this one, right? So just go here and maybe as Grafana has their own, but or otherwise the third-party plugins you can get. Okay, this is the Azure monitoring plugins, right? To Azure monitoring data source. Okay, so you can do it. So pretty straightforward, right? You can run it. Right now, this example is giving you Grafana running on the Docker, but uh, you can run Docker, Grafana anywhere. But this is a plugin you can use. So almost anything, wherever you have the data generator, right? They have the plugins available for this. Prometheus is also one kind of plugin, right? It's by default available here because it's very common. In Grafana, it's very common to integrate Prometheus with Grafana. Otherwise, other plugin you can install it. No, Sagar, in our ML, I'm not picking any class for reinforcement right now. I'm focusing more on supervised and unsupervised. Even though there's a big world of supervised and supervised, so I want first to be very much trained in this two area, supervised and unsupervised. But there's no plan in ML for reinforcement right now. Prometheus operation active monitoring. You can think, Rakesh, it is like a active monitoring, right? It is not like case for passive monitoring. What is scraping? For example, this is your website, and if you get all the data from the website, use some program, and from this program, I'm looking for only to retrieve this part only. So you can write your code, like in Python, for example, and Python will download this page, and after download the page, they only retrieve these part. Okay, it's called scraping or scraping. This is one of the simple example of scraping. Okay, it is compared to use two OS for permission. No, we can do Rahul. You can do all the practical what I did today in the same system. I use 2 or 3 systems to show you the realistic example. How because normally Grafana in another system, Promise another system, Docker is another system, but you can do all the practical in one system. So right now, guys, we are not opening till now. I don't know for the plan. Till now, we are not opening Flutter for the publicly. So there's no meaning of taking the charge, right? So Flutter will be free. For to whom we are giving free. So we are not opening right now publicly. If we don't know the future, maybe we might open. If we open publicly Flutter, we will that time uh, my team will update you about the charges if we have. But till now, we don't have any plan. What default time for default time I show you Akshat is 15 seconds. You can change it. What is daemon Himani is like a service. So yum store sorry systemctl restart httpd. So httpd is a daemon name. So either you say the service or the daemon, same thing. There's no difference. Thank you, Chandrakant, with your great words. How to pass the output one job as a input for the another job? Okay, Deepak is actually a great question. Right now, you can think you can do in this way. The output of the job you can save in one file. Okay, and for other job you can retrieve from that file. This is the simplest way you can do, Deepak, right now. But we have other way also, depend upon the use case to use case. In some use case, we have to store our output in some message queue also. Okay, like a small database. Or in some use case, this concept called environmental variable there. So every job, they have a lot of information. They have the environmental variables. Okay, so depend upon use case. I don't know what exactly your requirement is, but for the simplest way, the first job output store in one file, and second job when you run, again read the file, you can get the output and do your thing. Well, Helm is a tool for actually management of Kubernetes something. So I'll try to give you overview if I get the time, Kesav, in this training. How many classes left? I think Abhimanyu, the total duration, I'm not so much remember, but I think this somewhere around 35 days in total sessions. I believe we are on in some 18th session or 19th session going on. So just you can calculate, right? So accordingly, it might goes 2 more week around. So yeah, so with there's a lot of tool available, JBX, a lot of tool available, because monitoring is so important thing for the corporate. There are a lot of communities, company has created the tool, right? Again, all the tool work in the same way. They have the job, they have agent, they have exporter, they have centralized database, they have the front end dashboard. Somebody has the inbuilt dashboard, somebody they use dashboard from Grafana, from Kibana. Um, but according to today's real use case, choice, normally I suggest just compare 2 or 3 tools and see where your use case solve, accordingly to take the decision. Yes, Srinath, we can build the Flutter app also in the Docker container. And one of the great use case actually in the CI/CD pipeline to build and test the Flutter app on the Docker containers. So that's all, guys. There are a lot of queries about Flutter, so I'm not entertaining now right now. I'll ask my team or Preeti ma'am, she'll update all the terms and condition for the Flutter, so there will be no confusion. And that's all, guys. See you tomorrow with more advanced part of Prometheus and the Grafana. I suggest please get your setup ready till now, so you can learn some more advanced thing into tomorrow class. Okay, okay, bye. Good day, guys. Take care and rest all. Bye. Good day. Good night.